No doubt you're familiar with Google Streetview, which can virtually drop you on sidewalks all over the world for a look around. Now the search giant is using that same technology to take you inside museums. This morning, the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum announced it's the first local museum to open its doors to the Google Cultural Institute. WGBH Arts editor Jared Bowen was at today's announcement and joins me. And it's kind of odd that they did it on the day that's actually the anniversary of the theft.
Well, yes, today is the anniversary of the theft, Emily. And I do remember about a year ago when the FBI held a big press conference trying to drum up a publicity campaign. And so far, of course,
we thought they were going to solve it.
I certainly thought they were going to, because it was right on the heels of the Whitey Bulger campaign, but it hasn't happened that way. But hopefully today, with the announcement of Google, this Google partnership where they take people inside the museum, it'll drum up more publicity. But what this is doing is just what you explained. People are familiar now with the vehicles that travel around neighborhoods, take pictures, so you can get the Google Street View anywhere. Well, they've made a smaller vehicle, essentially, which went into the Gardner Museum about a year and a half ago, with these high-powered cameras, traveled all throughout the museum, and it makes it just one of a handful of museums in the world right now where you can tour the museum, just go through it, you can navigate, click through it. You can also do this at the Musée d'Orsay, at the White House, the Palace of Versailles, and now the Gardner Museum.
A little more better scope out what you want to steal. That's a terrible idea, right?
No, that's a nice comment, Emily. But I did talk to the Google engineering director, Steve Vintner, today about basically why Google is doing this, because we know that they have also partnered with a number of other museums so that you can take up-close pictures, or you can examine up-close different pictures in different museums around the world, even getting down to the tiniest little brushstroke and little cracks in paint. So now I asked him today why they're doing this internal street view.
The mission of Google Art is to capture the experience of art and make it accessible to people all over the world. It's amazing to walk in a museum and see the works that our culture has generated, but a lot of people can't do that. And so it's wonderful to be able to provide access to these huge collections, regardless of where you sit.
In this case, so it's more of you feel like you're walking through the room, not just looking at the art.
No, in fact, there is some distance. I had a little bit of trouble navigating, and I think this is something that needs to evolve because my computer kept freezing as I was trying to navigate, and you can't get right directly up close to the work. There are a number of pieces, I think it's in the neighborhood of 35 to 50, where you can actually click on the piece of art by a little icon that pops up, and you get more information. And this is text that the Gardner Museum has provided Google, so they're working in tandem with them so that you can learn more information. But right now, it's just really navigating the museum. In the case of somebody who lives across the country or somewhere else in the world, it's a great way to understand what this museum is and hopefully drum up interest and more traffic to it.
Yeah, I mean, because the Gardner is so beautiful architecturally by itself. I mean, even without what's in it, that's probably one of the reasons why they decided to do it as a Google tour.
Well, there's no question that everybody wants they still want the integrity of the on-site visit, the actual personal interaction with art. I remember last month I attended the Future of the Museum series at the Athenaeum, where the founder of Google Art, the leader of it, said he actually wants to go back to the very personal experience of going to a museum. This is something that Ann Hawley, who is the director of the Gardner Museum, addressed today about weighing liabilities of putting everything out there for free online.
We don't want the virtual experience to replace the authentic being there, looking at the actual object experience. And to date, it doesn't appear that that's the case. But will the digitals, the children who are born with the iPad in their hand virtually, will they feel the same way? Or will the virtual be the real to them? I think that's the longer term question, and something that perhaps haunts us a little bit.
I was always haunted as a kid by the Isabella Stewart Gardner History of Art book. I mean, we had to carry that everywhere we went in high school. I would have much rather had the virtual tour of the Isabella Gardner Student Museum.
Well, this is going to be something interesting to watch, though, because I share her concern. There's part of me that thinks this is dangerous, to allow people just not to have that experience. But at the same time, I hope that it's going to energize people to actually want to go there and see it in person. But it will be fascinating to watch over this next generation what happens when people don't have when they have all of this free accessibility.
Wish I'd had it. All right, Jared, thanks.